Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. We are now just 5 days away from the start of the very first ever LCS lock-in tournament. It is going to be the LCS's version of the preseason tournament like we've seen before in China, like we've seen before in Korea. Europe hasn't chosen to do something like this yet, but maybe if it is successful in the LCS, we will see them try something like this in the very, very near future. As you can see on the screen, this is the schedule for the opening day, which is going to be January 15th, and this is all the games that are going to be taking place. And in this video today, my goal is to go through every single game that's going to be played in the group stage, give my predictions on how every single result is going to go, and then put those into a bracket and give my prediction for the bracket as well. We're going to be going through the entire tournament, giving my thoughts and opinions on every single game, every single matchup, and getting through it. So this might be a little bit of a longer video, but hopefully not too long. We should keep it interesting, hopefully, and go through all these so you guys can see all the different matchups, what days, what times, your favorite team, your favorite player, your org, whatever is going to be playing, and this should be a fun one. But before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick a word from today's sponsor, which is Draft Buff. This is a fantasy esports website and app where you can play fantasy sports all season long with your friends or with people that you just meet randomly on there, because they have new leagues starting all the time and they have over 100,000 members. It is super, super sick. Obviously, we're getting really, really hyped up and excited for the start of the LCS, LEC, and LCK season, where they offer games for all of those leagues. So if you want to play some fantasy LOL esports, Draft Buff is the place to go. The link is going to be down in the description below. If you get signed up, make sure you use code IAMGERM. I would appreciate it a ton, and so would they. With that being said, here we go, getting right into today's video, which again is my LCS lock-in predictions. So starting off with obviously the first day of games, which again is going to be January 15th. 100 Thieves and TSM is going to be the first game of the entire, it's not really the entire season, it's still the preseason. It doesn't count towards regular season standings, anything like that. But again, there are two groups. I actually have those groups right here. I believe we can take a look. Here are the two groups, groups A and B. It's going to be single round robin, so every team's going to play every other team one time. Top 4 teams from each group make it to the bracket stage, just so you guys are familiar in case you weren't sure about the format or whatever. So first up, 100 Thieves and TSM. This is going to be a banger of a game to start it, because I think a lot of people out there have these teams rated very, very similarly. I think it's going to be interesting. Obviously, huge fan base in TSM and a pretty big fan base in 100 Thieves as well. Two teams that had crazy, exciting off seasons. But for me, I have to give it to 100 Thieves, even though that does pain me. I think 100 Thieves, they have the Golden Guardians roster coming over, plus someday. I think it's going to be much easier for them to kind of get into stride early on in the year, since they have so much built-in synergy, where TSM has a ton of moving parts. New mid, new AD carry, new support, new top. Speak is the only returning member from that team. They have kind of just a lot going on, kind of a lot of craziness, a lot of questions to be answered. I think 100 Thieves is going to come out of the gate a little bit stronger. Next up, we have Liquid and CLG. CLG is having some visa issues with Finn and Broxah still, so I'm not even sure what their lineup is going to look like yet. Team Liquid obviously coming in as one of the pre-tournament favorites. They did get Alfari into the United States. He's going to be ready to go. Their team should look very, very loaded. Next up, we have Cloud9 and Evil Geniuses. Cloud9, they have their full talent roster ready to go. Evil Geniuses, I think they're going to look like a very, very solid team, but I don't think they're going to be good enough to get, against Cloud9, get over Cloud9 on the first day. They're coming in with a ton of hype, ton of excitement. I think Fudge is still a big question mark. Maybe Impact will have a big game against him, but I think Cloud9 is too talented to not win that game. FlyQuest and Dignitas, that's an easy one for FlyQuest for me. I think Dignitas is one of the weaker teams in the league. And then CLG, Golden Guardians, rounding out the day. Even though CLG is maybe having some issues with Broxah, with Finn, I still think they have enough talent to hopefully beat the Golden Guardians team, but that game could be a little bit more interesting if those visa issues and stuff continue. So that is the first day of games. That is January 15th. Now we head to January 16th, where we start the day with Immortals and Evil Geniuses. I'm going to be giving this game to Evil Geniuses. TSM and Golden Guardians, that one over to TSM. Cloud9 and FlyQuest. Something we haven't talked about yet is that FlyQuest might not have Jose Diodo to start the season, which might suck. He is another guy who I'm not sure if he's been able to make it into the country yet. Seems like he might be having some visa issues, and I'm not sure who their backup jungler would be, or what exactly that situation would play out like. So in the meantime, I'm going to have to give it to Cloud9. I do think Cloud9 has a significantly easier group over in Group B as opposed to Group A with TL, 100 Thieves, and TSM. Cloud9, FlyQuest was solid, but again, if they don't have Jose Diodo, that's a question mark, and then a lot of those other teams just look weaker. So I think Cloud9 should be able to start with a hot start. Immortals and Dignitas. Immortals is going to be starting their entire academy roster. Since their main team is having so many visa issues, I think this gives a great opportunity for Dignitas to pick up an easy win there. And then 100 Thieves, who I think is going to be a really, really solid team, taking on CLG, who again, having some visa issues. Don't know what's going to happen there. Don't know who is even going to be playing for them. Give that one to 100 Thieves. Now we go to January 17th. This is Sunday, where Immortals and Cloud9 are going to be kicking off the day. I think Cloud9 should hopefully be able to beat Immortals Academy team. Then the next game, 100 Thieves and Team Liquid. I have this as kind of my big upset pick. I think Team Liquid is really, really sick. I think they're great. I think their roster is going to play out really, really well. But I can't just pick the better team in every single matchup. There's got to be a big upset. There's got to be something interesting to kind of shake up the standings a little bit. And I think 100 Thieves and Team Liquid might be that game where we see a little bit of a big upset. Alfari obviously just got into the country. Who knows exactly if he'll be ready to go, how acclimated he's going to be, how much his team is even going to have practice and stuff together. I think this could be a big, big opportunity for 100 Thieves to pull off an upset. Again, especially if Alfari's not 100% ready to go just yet. This could be a big game where they're able to play through someday and maybe pick up kind of an upset win over Team Liquid. So that's kind of my upset pick, upset special over in Group A. Then we have Evil Geniuses and Dignitas, TSM and CLG. I see that going this way. And then I have Team Liquid bouncing back really strong against Golden Guardians, obviously. So I got red side with a lot of wins on Sunday, January 17th. And then the teams take a couple days off, to kind of regroup, start practicing again, just taking the week off, and we get back on Friday. I keep clicking the wrong thing. On Friday, January 22nd, where we're going to start the day with Cloud9 Dignitas. I have Cloud9 finishing their 4-0 group stage. 100 Thieves finishing their 4-0 group stage as well against Golden Guardians. I actually have Evil Geniuses taking a W against FlyQuest. Again, I don't know if Jose Dioto is going to be playing. I don't know who FlyQuest is going to be starting in the jungle. They have a young mid laner, a young support. I think this team is very, very talented. They're built to win kind of in the future, and as they come together, they could be really scary. But I think Evil Geniuses' veteran talent might be able to put them over the top against FlyQuest early on. Team Liquid against TSM. I have Team Liquid bouncing back, finishing the group stage 3-1, and then finally FlyQuest rounding out the day with a win over the Immortals Academy team. And there is my predictions for the group stage. Every single game, every single matchup, all that good stuff. And now we can take a look at the overall group standings. Hopefully I get all this right, but I'm pretty sure after all of that is kind of calculated, we have some final standings of 100 Thieves at 4-0. This is going to put them at number 1 in their group. We have TL at 3-1. That is going to put them second in the group. TSM follows at 2-2, which will be good enough for third place in the group. CLG with 1-3 with their lone win over the Golden Guardians, who I have going 0-4. That means the Golden Guardians are going to be eliminated because the bottom team from each group is eliminated after the group stage. Then over here we have the 4-0 team being Cloud9 at number 1. Evil Geniuses 3-1 is going to be good enough for second in this group. FlyQuest at 2-2. Good enough for third place. Dignitas with a 1-3 group stage to get them into the knockout stage. And then we have Immortals and their Academy team chilling at 0-4. I can't really see their Academy team surprising too much, but they definitely could. They have some built-in synergy. They could surprise some people, but I think it's going to be a little bit too hard to predict. I'm staying very, very far away from that one. So now we get into taking a look at the bracket, starting to fill this one out. So first up, we have the bracket is going to be the Group A first seed, which is going to be 100 Thieves, taking on the Group B fourth seed, which I do believe is going to be Dig. So we have Dig and 100 Thieves taking place as the first matchup. Then we have the Group A 3 seed, who I believe is TSM, and the Group B 2 seed, who is Evil Geniuses. So we have TSM and EG rounding out the top half of the bracket. And again, since I'm predicting an upset of Team Liquid to be second place in the group in Cloud9, that means that TL and Cloud9 are going to be on the same half of the bracket. So that's going to make that's really going to shake things up. We have the Group B 3 seed, who I cannot remember. That is going to be FlyQuest. We have TL and FlyQuest matching up in the first round. That's actually kind of a hype matchup. And then we have C9 taking on who will be CLG. So that should be a little bit of an easier matchup for them to start off the day. I'm going to switch it up to the red now, just so we can get some different colors going. So in the quarterfinals, I believe this first round is best of 3s, and then the semifinals and finals are best of 5. So I have 100 Thieves. I think this should be a very, very easy 3-0 for them over Dignitas. I have 100 Thieves moving on pretty easily. As far as TSM versus Evil Geniuses, I think TSM will be able to get the job done, but I think this will be maybe a little bit of a closer series because, again, I don't have TSM starting off the year super great. But I think Power of Evil is significantly better than Jizuke. Lost is a big question mark, but definitely is a question mark as the AD carry position as well. So I think TSM actually could match up pretty well against Evil Geniuses. I think this could be a really fun series, something like 3-2. But I do have TSM moving on in that one. Then we go down to the bottom half of the group. Again, I think TL is going to be very good. They might just be a little bit of a slow start as Alfari starts to come in, building up with the team, but I do think they should be able to get past FlyQuest. I could see something like 3-1 in this series. And then I have Cloud9 with an easy 3-0 over CLG. So then we go to the semifinals where we have 100 Thieves against TSM. Let's call it blue now. Let's do something yellow so it actually stands out. Maybe orange sounds good. TSM and 100 Thieves is kind of that replay from the Golden Guardians playoff series last year where FBI just gave a ton of issues to TSM. I think 100 Thieves should be able to beat them just like they beat them in the group stages. I think they'll be okay right again. I have 100 Thieves with a 3-1 win with them making it all the way to the finals. And then down here, TL and Cloud9, a lot of the teams who people have as kind of the pre-tournament favorites. This should be a really hype, really insane matchup. It's going to be fun. But hopefully, I think by this time, TL would have played enough together to where they can maybe start to be ramping up. Because I do think on paper, TL is probably a more talented team than Cloud9. Even though I think Perks and Blabber is going to be a really tough matchup for Jensen and Santorin. They're really going to be kind of pushing them to the edge all the time. But Cloud9 does have some big question marks. Just how consistent is Blabber going to be? How good is Fudge even going to be, especially really early on in the season? I could see TL definitely winning this series 3-2, but I could see it being a really close, really fun, exciting one. And then finally, we get to the finals of Team Liquid against 100 Thieves, where I think in the end this is going to be a 3-1 win for Team Liquid, who I have as the first ever LCS lock-in. I couldn't remember the name of the tournament. The first ever LCS lock-in tournament champions. But again, I wouldn't read anything too much into this preseason tournament, no matter how good or bad teams do, anything like that. Whoever wins this doesn't mean they're going to win the split, doesn't mean they're going to be the best team in the LCS or whatever. I just think TL has a lot of veteran talent. It sucks they had some visa issues with Alfari, but I think they have a lot of guys who are going to be ready to go right at the beginning of the season. But in this tournament, there's going to be all different kinds of rosters and lineups and visa issues and academy players subbing in and just trying out, I'm sure, really experimental drafts. Obviously, Season 11 still fresh, brand new items, brand new teams. So many offseason changes happening this season, so this could be very volatile, especially the group stage where it's going to be best of ones. Anything can happen. Remember at Worlds, remember at MSI, we've seen insane upsets. So I tried to get some upsets in here a little bit. We didn't end up with anything too crazy, but 100 Thieves making it to the finals, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty exciting. But this is exactly how I think the lock-in tournament is going to go down. But like I said, my guess is just as good as anybody else's, just how I see things playing out. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. That helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm, and I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think I got right, what you think I got wrong. What are your predictions like, and who do you think is going to take the first ever LCS lock-in tournament championship? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on anything we talked about in today's video. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. I'm trying to hit 6K subs as soon as we can. Remember to check out Draft Buff. If you do, use code IAMGERM. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one, but until then, peace!